is what comes of having capable assistants. I love it. All right, so everyone can see the screen. Can everyone read this? All right, so get in a position where you can read this. That is, come over here. You don't need your monitors for this.
Bigger.
Fine. Bigger it is. B and D. All right, let's make this a bit bigger for you guys. So, if you're in the back row, like Miss Stephanie or Miss Lorraine, I would ask you to do your best to come over here to be in these two rows so you can see what I'm doing.
Just make it 18.
Make it 18? Sure. Including you, Mr. Saunders, and you, Miss Kia. Need you to come over here so I can be sure you're paying attention and can see what I see. Got it?
No, that's okay.
Yes. You don't need your monitors right now, guys. Push your chair over there yourself. Or I'll just, either one. Just as long as you can see. Alright, so. I was thinking, how can I show you guys how to edit something? Mr. Vincent, please roll yourself over here, please. Where you can properly see the board and I can be sure of everyone's attention. Miss Stephanie, come on over. Oh, God. No, I know, but I need you over here. Yeah. Now, a lot of you guys have some problems with editing, and that's natural. I mean, editing is not easy, and even with repeated practice, it is not intuitive. So I wrote a cover letter that is so full of errors I am ashamed that it ever, came from my fingers. But it will help you guys with common errors in both syntax, grammar, and presumption. So, does anyone here see any problems with just this first thing, the opening line?
Yes.
All right, so what's the problem?
Way.
Way? I thought way had two Y's in it every single time. I guess not. All right, fine. So. What? Transylvania Bay. All right, so fine. So Renard's address is fine. I mean, impractical and fictional, but fine. Vincent, roll over here, man.
Wow, I'm saying right here.
Yes, and you're looking at yourself on the other hand.
Alright, but you don't know what's going on with me right now, man.
Well, you could put a dash in the phone number.
I could, but waiting on Mr. Vincent. No. Because it's a mark of disrespect to use your cell phone in class. Alright, so they, so we take away the V. Unless we have a very pronounced. It could work. If someone was doctor, you could just put the. Alright, so because I have a rotten sense of humor and force you all to endure it as well, I put Dr. Acula, Head of Innovation Resources, Bat and Wolf Industries, 665 Transylvania Way. Please tell me you guys get the joke. There we go. Alright, cool. So I'm having fun. Alright, we're into the first line.
Deer.
Deer? But I thought you always put an E in deer.
That's wrong. No.
Well.
And it's wrong.
Alright. Okay, so we've corrected some errors. Now, I want to notice something again, I'm going to go off on spell check because I view it as a thing. It says, just give me a minute. So it says Dr. Acula is wrong if it's spell check does not recognize proper nouns in terms of the name. So if you wrote Miss Joyce Taliaferro, it would underline that in red, and you guys have seen that. If it yeah. Yeah, it does that. So even if spell check says it's wrong, if it's a name, it's probably fine. But even so, pay attention. All right? I've also gone through this document and removed things that the spell check would ordinarily pick up to make sure that you guys are actually reading this. Okay? So, sorry? Weissman. Yes.
Trouble's wrong.
All right. No. Let's start one by one. Mr. Vincent, would you read the first line for me, my friend?
It says, I writing you. What's the I? Am.
See? A phantom word. A word that our brain fills in even if it's not there. I am writing to you. Continue, Mr. Vincent, please.
In reference to your open position for known trouble, it's double E.
Okay, take that out.
malcontent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Rogue is fine.
As I feel I'm well qualified to fill these open boots.
Yep. Now, we're going to ignore the archaic use of language, but this comes across as overly familiar, and while I can't see any of you using Dark Ages, vernacular in a language, in this context, this would be something you want to cut. So, underline. To fill this position might be better. Right? Alright, so we're actually just going to... Yeah, so if it's underlined, we don't want it. Okay? My experience in devilry, mayhem, trickery, and subterfuge stretches all the way back to the epic poem Isengrinus and makes me perhaps excessively qualified for this job. Any errors?
Qualified.
But the spell check says it's okay. How can this be? Alright, you guys are sharp. Can't trick you with the word looking familiar. Alright, so we're going to take that and make it qualified.
Why didn't the spell check catch?
Because I told it not to. Because I told it not to. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. Because we do this a lot when we write our own work. We skip over words that we think we know and are a little less hard on ourselves. Anything else? That sentence seems a bit long. If you were an employer, would you want to read 3 lines for one sentence? So where would you make the, where would you cut this in half? Hmm?
Everything
I would forget about
everything in
the
front of
stretches.
I'm excessively qualified.
May I have a moment? Sorry, one at a time. Miss Souls.
Well, I would probably talk about stretches back all the way to the ethic poem, blah, blah, blah.
Right. So, do you think we not need excessively qualified? That sounds a bit egotistical. I mean, if someone sent you a letter saying, I'm way too good for this job, but I'll take it out of the goodness of my heart, would you hire them?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, again, we're going to highlight this part, and perhaps makes me overqualified for this job. We want to cut that. So, never say you're overqualified for a job. Ever. Or even imply it. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. What? Devilry. No, devilry means mischief, putting a whoopee cushion on someone's feet, on someone's seat. To list a mild example. Alright, so, moving on. My last position as an assistant troublemonger at Lysmith, Rabbit, and Latran's taught me the value of many fine qualities. Any problems with this so far before the colon? You guys are awfully quiet. I can see like 3 of them.
Well,
Taught.
Taught.
Good, but it sounds close
Yeah,
if you say it. Taught. Alright, good. Beware of phonics when you're spelling in cover letters. It's good for getting the words down, but it's not so good once you go into the review.
Qualities.
Qualities? Ah, it's totally spelled right. Again, the almighty spell check says so. Ah, you guys are sharp. I like it. Alright, good. My last position is an assistant troublemonger at Lysmith, Rabbit, and Latran's. Taught me the value of many fine qualities. Colon. A modest amount of hard work, precision of language, and how to pick a padlock in under 30 seconds. Useful skills. Alright, who here wants to read the next line? And by wants, I mean I will pick on randomly. Miss Kia, will you read the next one for me, please?
Is that the I one?
Yeah.
I dealt chiefly with the poultry acquisition division. Although I did do some work in forgery and incentive production and discrete person removal.
Is that how you spell discrete?
Yes, it is, but there's also something that's wrong. You usually don't capitalize things like this. I mean, even if it is a department name, you still want to keep them lowercase. Miss Emily? The capitalization on that?
Yes.
Alright. So we take out all the capitalizations.
definitely don't want to do poultry. The acquisition division, anything that's a proper name, you do maybe want to leave. You do want to leave capitalized. So if it's on their website capitalized, you would leave it. But if it's not, then you're gonna lowercase it.
Right.
Huh?
How about poetry?
Required.
I'll explain the joke in a minute.
That's not poetry.
It's not poetry, no, it's not.
It's just a fancy word.
Basically, it's a fancy way of saying this person stole chickens for a living. Good times. Anyway. Alright, so, Miss Christina, would you read the first line of the new paragraph?
I can persuade anyone of my good intentions before verbal acrobatics with the greatest ease and understanding 7 languages.
Okay, any problems with that sentence? So run on, so where would you cut it?
Let me see. I can persuade anyone of my good intentions.
Period? You think that we should cut it into a small sentence like that?
No.
No?
I can persuade anyone of my good intentions before verbal acrobatics with the greatest ease. Yeah.
Okay. I think we should actually plug an and in here and make it a, not a compound sentence, a complex sentence. Where'd Vincent go? Ah, there it is. Alright. And the greatest of ease, period.
Is it complex or compound? When you put and.
What?
And is it complex or compound?
I believe it's compound because there's two parts, right?
Yeah.
And the and is what holds them together. It's like the link in the elbow, shoulder, hand. Without the elbow, you're not going to do much. Alright, so we're going to cut out understand 7 languages since it doesn't really come into your job.
So guys, you want to make sure that everything is, remember at the beginning of the class we went through that exercise where you highlighted or circled the skills in the job description? Just like Charlie said, this isn't relevant to the job, 7 languages. So if it's not relevant to the job, you don't need to mention it.
Alright? So, Miss Lorraine, would you do me the great honor of reading the highlighted section here?
I was given the responsibility.
Hold.
Had 7 languages that can express the person.
Not if it's not having to do with the job.
Not if your only job is to cause trouble,
And,
which is the point of this.
and it's most likely going to be on your resume, guys. So remember, your cover letter is just something to amplify your resume. You want to highlight the things that are most pertinent to the job.
Okay. So, Miss Lorraine, please, sound forth.
I stand up.
You don't have to stand up, but speak loudly. I could barely hear
I
you.
was given the responsibility at my last position of outfoxing potential aggressors and charming investors.
Any problems with that sentence?
Yes. Yep.
Mr. Vincent, what is it?
I'm saying charming investors.
Investors. Quite right. You guys are doing really well. I mean, usually people, when they see the first half of a word, they jump to conclusions about the proper conjugation. But not you guys. That's good.
Investors.
Investors. Plural. Because if you only have one investor, you're in trouble. Alright. Now this part is a little bit more subtle, but there's definitely a lot of errors in this. So, Miss Alberg, would you sing out, please?
I am an excellent investor for your company.
Not quite. Investment. Like if you hire me, that's a good use of resources.
Investment for your company. Whose mission statement? Profit through skills.
Chaos.
Chaos. That's A.
Investment.
Sentiments
There's
I partly agree with.
Heartily agree.
Alright, so there are 3 errors that I can count. Who here wants to get the first? Miss Sabrina Small.
Yes.
In the highlighted sentence, there are 3 errors. Can you help me with them? Or one of them anyway?
Mission statement. That doesn't sound right. profit. It's
Through
through it's the spelling.
that.
No, the spelling's fine.
I mean the words that they chose.
I think I am an.
I am an excellent.
I am an. That's wrong.
That's right. I am an excellent investor.
Alright, hold.
You're supposed to say I'm.
Mr. Vincent has the right part of the sentence for the first error, but it's nothing to do with spelling or grammar. It's more about what we talked about earlier about bragging.
Yeah,
Anyone want to follow up on that? Ms.
I would
Solis.
never say I'm an excellent investment, how great you are.
So we cut that. You don't want to seem too full of yourself, but you don't want to, kick yourself either.
Braggadocious.
Yeah. Good use of vocab, Mr. Vincent. I like it. Alright. So once that's taken out, whose mission statement, profit through chaos, a sentiment I heartily agree with, while a fragment anyway. Do we need that, guys?
No.
Alright, we're going to cut that too. By the way, when writing this, I used the form letter that you all have in your TNS1 folders to follow the basic layout. Here's what I did before, here's what I'm very skilled at, and here's how I'm going to follow up with you. Alright, so 3 basic paragraphs, and we're going down to the last one. This won't take long. Alright, who hasn't been victimized yet? Miss Stephanie.
I have enforced my resume for your compensation. I shall contact you as a fortnight at my position.
Alright, the highlighted part.
I will take out constant revenue.
It's me deliberately misspelling consideration just to see what I can do to you guys.
Take it out.
Yes.
That's misspelled. Fortnight. That's
No, fortnight is an old term for 2 weeks.
It's about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So if you were writing this, would you use a word? Yeah. So Miss Christina raises a valid point. Would you use archaic language like fortnight?
No, I would say.
If you know, there's a very good likelihood they have no idea what that means. Would you use it?
No.
No. So let's remove ambiguity and say 2 weeks.
What does it mean?
2 weeks.
Yeah, a fortnight means 2 weeks. All right.
And I wouldn't use the word
Can't force them to hide.
Right. So
I wouldn't
basically,
use that word found.
newfound. It's easy. All right. But anyway, remember this goes back again to the ego thing. So you're saying in the last sentence, I shall contact you within 2 weeks to accept my newfound positions.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
I mean
that.
the ego on this guy, right? So I shall contact with you
How about it this way?
within 2 weeks. We might want to cut out this and say,
Space it and then between the
period. So I'll contact with you in 2 weeks to follow up with you. It's a perfectly acceptable sentence instead of saying, I'm so confident I have the job, I'll call you when we've got the details.
What about using, I would
You could do that, but again, it's easier to just say check in, because maybe they say, alright, this one won't work, but we might have something else for you. You say, great. Alright, best wishes, Renard. Okay, the only thing you didn't mess up was the beginning, dear Mr. Blank, and his end, best wishes, his name. No. It doesn't really matter at this point. Alright, so that was a big exercise in how not to write a cover letter ever. While amusing, not very what you need. So was this helpful to you guys for editing?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shock. I just wrote it for fun. Alright, cool. Alright, so now that we've gotten to that, we're going to go...
Switch?
Yeah, we're going to switch it up. And
Papers?
yeah, so we're going to do some peer review. Keep in mind about, commonly misspelled words, invisible transitions, beware the ego, and, keep your eyes sharp with what we just practiced here.
So can everyone print out their cover letter that they sent us from last week?
I wasn't here.
Alright, yeah, you're right, you weren't. Then start working on the cover letter. Did you miss the entire lesson? Okay, we'll talk to you while there's peer review going on.
Hold on. The camera's totally not on here or anything.
So, yes. So we want everyone to pair up and print out their cover letter, and then we'll work with you on reviewing.
If we have an odd number, either Emily or, well, I'll work with you if you're short a partner.
Charlie, any good chance?
Certainly.
Sabrina,
What do you need?
you gonna be partners?
Show me how you recover or oversee.
Hey, we still be partners?
Yeah. Sabrina, actually, if you want to partner with him and show him your cover letter, that would be a good way to start and catch you up with.
We don't need the camera, no, do we?
No.